So today we're speaking with meteorologist Mark McGinnis on severe weather and how to be prepared. Hi Mike, thanks for taking time for us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
So I'd like to start off by talking about the main problems. What are the main problems that affect our homes and communities when we do have the severe weather?
Well, when the stronger storms move through, especially northern, central Ohio, western Pennsylvania, they cause major disruption from severe weather, tornadoes, strong winds, and lightning. And what we find is a significant disruption in our normal lives. Power can go out, roads can be underwater. So your normal routine is not only disruptive, but it kind of throws you off a little bit. So you're restricted in what you can do, safely do, that is. So the ability to get out, to get to work, even just to go to the grocery store sometimes can be dangerous and restricted. And at times that can happen not only for a few hours, but in the stronger storms, you might have that restricted mobility on your life for a couple of days.
Oh, that is so true. So how can we get our homes ready for a natural disaster?
Well, I think step one is to make sure you're properly insured. Make sure your home has the right level of coverage for water, wind, and hail for your house. And of course, obviously, you have to talk to an insurance expert on that. Number two, you can go around your house and inspect the windows, the doorways, the garage door, as well as the roof. Make sure it is in good condition. And if you need to hire someone to do that, obviously, you can hire someone to check out all that to make sure that your home is as safe and secure as possible from the elements. On top of that, I'm here today on behalf of Generac, and Generac wants you to know that having power during these storms is a really great advantage to keeping things as normal as possible, but you need to do it responsibly and safely. So if you have backup generators, they need to absolutely all the time be outside and at least 15 feet away from any entryway.
Well, that's some great tips, and definitely power is the most important thing for not disrupting our lives. So my kids, I have 2 type 1 diabetic children, and I do worry about what we would do as a family in a natural disaster. Do you have any ways that people that have special needs can prepare a little extra for a natural disaster?
Absolutely. So, Cindy, what you want to do, no matter what condition you are, you want to make sure that you have at least 3 days supply. So that includes food, water, and medication that you might need during the course of 3 days. And if that doesn't make you feel comfortable enough, then maybe you get 5 days worth of supply of medication on top of that as far as riding out the storm. But that's the first and foremost. You need the basic necessities. So get those, bring those into your house. If you're going to stay at your house, you want to make sure that not only you have those basic necessities, but you also want to make sure that you have all of your vehicles gassed up. It might be very difficult to find gas after a major weather event. In fact, the pumps may not work because the power is down. Also, in a situation when the power is down, you want to make sure you have cash on hand, because I don't know about your credit card, but my credit card does not work when the power is down. So having cash will help you as far as the road to recovery as well. Also, keeping tabs on the weather. It's tough to do that when the power is down, but if you have a NOAA weather radio with battery backup, you will be able to stay on top of the weather even if the power is out.
Oh, that's great advice. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that 2018 is on schedule to have an above average number of hurricanes. So I'm just wondering, how can families prepare for the next hurricane if they're still recovering from a previous one?
Yeah, great question. And you're right. The outlook right now is for it to be average to above average. Folks to your south and to the east along the coast, I'll go back to the insurance. They absolutely have to make sure they have the proper insurance for the upcoming hurricane season, which starts in less than 2 weeks on June 1st. So making sure you have the right coverage is really, really important. Now, where you are in Ohio, obviously you don't take direct impacts from tropical systems, but you get indirect impacts. Sandy impacted northern and northeastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania with strong winds and flooding rain. So again, making sure you have the right insurance, making sure your house is secure, and if you are staying there, make sure you have the right supplies. If local emergency management recommends or orders you to evacuate, you need to follow those orders and evacuate. So planning a little ahead of time, maybe reaching out to family members who live farther away, that's a good thing to do too. If we have bad weather at our place, can we stay at your place for 2 to 3 days? And then reciprocate that. If they have bad weather at their place, maybe they can stay at yours and shelter up there.
I understand that 2018 is on schedule for above-average hurricanes. How can families prepare for the next hurricane when we're still recovering from the previous one?
Cindy, that's a great question. For people closer to the coast, you got to make sure that your insurance is up to standard. In fact, you have limited time to do that. Once hurricane season starts in less than 2 weeks on June 1st, you can't buy insurance if you're along the coast. But as you know, in northern Ohio, northwestern Pennsylvania, you don't get direct impacts from these tropical systems, but you do get indirect. Sandy hit you guys really hard with wind and water. So follow those previous tips. Make sure that your house is safe and secure. If emergency management asks you to evacuate, you should follow that order. So maybe reaching out ahead of time to family that lives farther away. Can we shelter at your place if there's bad weather? And then reciprocate that. If they have bad weather, let them come to your house if it's farther away and out of the threat of severe weather.
Thank you so much. That's some great advice. Where can we find more ideas on how to safeguard our homes?
So Cindy, I have 2 great websites for your listeners. Number 1 is ready.gov. On there is a comprehensive list of be prepared, not only before, but during and after the storm. And Generac.com is an excellent website for all types of weather. You have wintry weather, severe weather, and hurricanes on there. It's the Be Prepared section on Generac.com. You can print out the checklist, stick it on your refrigerator, and you can go right down and see how well you're prepared for the next storm.
Great. Thank you so much, Mark. Stay safe.
Thank you, Cindy. You too.